Welcome to Retirement with Jim. So, today's topic is it time to reevaluate with what's going on? So, okay, before we get started, if you like my channel, please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel. Helps my channel grow. And feel free to leave comments. Love to hear from you. Love to, whether you agree, disagree, or other subjects you'd like me to talk about. Okay, let's get started. So, first thing to do with what's going on in the world right now is just don't panic. The stock market runs in cycles. It goes up, it goes down. And the best thing to do is stop, pause, take a deep breath, and don't run and sell off all your stocks. It's just not the most prudent thing to do. And if you're not sure about what you want to do, talk to a financial advisor. Get someone's take on who maybe has gone through some of the cycles and knows the history a little bit better, than to know what to do, to know whether you reevaluate and maybe rethink how much risk you have in your portfolio versus, what you might want it to be, and maybe something more conservative. So you don't want to sell off mainly because usually the market really, after it self-corrects, it readjusts and then it starts to climb back up. And so right now you would be missing out on, what goes on and all the gains that you could be getting back. So it makes sense. And if you sell off, you're locking in the loss. It's a done deal. So if you don't sell off and you hold on to that stock, yes, you might, have suffered a little bit of a loss, but you are certainly going to regain that, because history is just got a way of repeating itself as it runs up and down in the cycles. When you look at a little bit of the history, back in 1929, after the stock market crash then, right before the Great Depression, it took 4 years for the market to recover. Now, it took 25 years to recover from the Depression, but they are two distinctly different things in history. We should not mistake one for the other. Then in 1987, we had a stock market, the Black Monday. And that one was actually one of believe the largest stock market crash, where 22% of the stock market was lost. But it rebounded in less than 2 years. So 2008, that was another big crash. Now that one took longer. That one took 5 years to recover from, but eventually the stock market regained its momentum and got back on track. And so then along with that, it helped make where we're at now, which is huge amounts of, or was huge gains in our history there. So you gotta say to yourself, just don't panic. Take a breath, relax, step back, look at it. Because you don't want to be making a bad financial decision after something that's happened in the market as it has, because then you end up becoming the loser. But you can regain. Now, depending on where you're at, if you're young enough, you just simply ride this out. Not a big deal. You have many years ahead of you. You will make this up in no time flat. If you're about to retire, well, then maybe you might want to readjust your portfolio to take some of your risk out and make it a little bit more conservative. Not a bad thing if you're just about to go into retirement. If you're in retirement, well, then you want to kind of go, okay, where do I sit? Do I think I have many years? And of course, none of us have that crystal ball. But if you're in good health and things are good, you might want to just say, okay, I'm just going to ride this, and let it ride out. You can, of course, readjust your portfolio even to more conservative. But if you've already done that to some degree because you were already retired, then you might not be really getting hurt that much by what goes on. You got to look at the situation as what it is. It's a buying opportunity. So right now is a great time to buy low on stocks that have been recalibrated and have taken a look on the valuation side and maybe lost some of its valuation, but it hasn't been wiped out. Company's not, gone completely out on the stock. So it might be a great time to say, I'm going to buy some of that stock. So as my wife and I are doing right now, we're evaluating some stocks that make sense that in the future would be some good tech stocks and some good pharmaceutical stocks. That would be a great time to buy back in. The biotech in the pharmaceutical industry, the tech industry. You've got the AI. AI is, just starting to come along, and, that's going to just explode in due time. So you got to look at what's going on right now as a great time to buy in and then just sit on that stock. And, depending on where you're at, if you're young enough, you really can make some money. If you are in, the retired age, well, you still, you can still make some money and sit on that. So the next thing to look at is the housing market. The housing market, is, how is that looking? Well, is it going to adjust up or down? Well, nobody knows, but it appears to be that it's becoming more of a buyer's market. And quite honestly, it needs to adjust to help the next generation get in. So your house is paid for, you've got what your house is worth and whatnot. When you think about it, you're probably going to pass that house on to your children. So maybe there's a little less value in that, but for it to lose a little value right now, to recalibrate, it's not a bad thing. And if it helps the next generation get in, then that's really a very good thing. They're struggling and they need every bit of help that they can get. They want to be able to get into that American dream just like anybody else. So in the final analysis, I would tell you, don't simply panic. Just sit, take some time, ask for help if you're not sure, but then ride this out. It's going to be okay. It's going to get better. So history, all you got to do is look at the history of the stock market to know that it will come back. And many times it comes roaring back in great fashion. So with that, I'm going to tell you, have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.